Hello, I'm Steve Shaw, National Coordinator of Football Officials and Secretary of Rules Editor for the NCAA. And today we're continuing our series of preseason training videos, and we're going to be focused on kicks, both scrimmage kicks and free kicks. And we all know if something unusual is going to happen in your ball game, it is distinctly possible it is going to happen during a kick play. So we must be prepared both in rules knowledge and in our mechanics to make sure we work these plays well. Now, a quick word of encouragement as we work through the summer. In addition to our rules study, our mechanics, and our philosophies, all of our off-season work, we need to be sure and be mindful of our physical conditioning. It's so important that when we come back and work late August, early September, when it's brutally hot, that we're prepared to work in the heat. And our field presence is so important in our game today. So let's make sure we take care of our physical conditioning as well. And so with that, let's get straight on into our plays.
Our first play this week is going to test not only our rules knowledge, but our observation on the field. And we have an extra point, and the kick is blocked. It goes high in the air, and then it's going to be caught by a kicking team player and run into the end zone. Now, we know that by rule, if a kick is blocked not more than 3 yards beyond the neutral zone, is considered to be blocked within or behind the neutral zone. Now, the ball is going to be caught by a kicking team player beyond the neutral zone, and then the kicking team player is going to run the ball into the end zone. And we get a really good announcement by the referee.
43 of 44 and extra points.
The try was blocked. It was caught beyond the line of scrimmage. Therefore, he cannot advance it. It's dead at that point. The try is no good.
And this is good work. Now, if the ball had failed to cross the neutral zone and was caught or recovered by the kicking team behind the neutral zone, they could advance. But in this case, because the kicking team caught the ball beyond the neutral zone, it's dead at that point, and the extra point is no good. So really good work by the crew here. Play 2 is a kickoff, and we're going to see that the headline judge and line judge are up in position anticipating an onside kick. Now, the center judge is going to raise his hand indicating that he's ready to go, and then the referee is going to blow the ready for play. Now you're going to see the side judge and headline judge come in, and when they know they have an issue with the receiving team, they're going to kill this, and as we count them off, you're going to see that the receivers have 12 on the field. Now, ultimately, we're going to penalize this against the receiving team as a dead ball foul. But we know that by rule, if Team B has more than 11 players, it's a live ball foul. But more importantly, on a free kick, officials don't go up with your hand until you have counted 11 and you know that 11 are on the field. And referee, don't blow the ready for play until you've checked off with all officials, ensuring that everyone is ready to go. Let's work hard to get 11 lined up for both the kicking team and receiving team before we raise our hand and before we blow the ready for play. Let's work to start the play clean. Play 3 is a kickoff, and the ball is coming to the near side of the field, and the kick is muffed in the field of play by number 8 of the receiving team. Now, the headline judge stays in great position, stays at the goal line, and he properly winds the clock when the ball is first touched in the field of play. But he stays in position there, and then ultimately number 8 is going to pick the ball up in the end zone, and then he's going to run it back out, and he's out of bounds, and the headline judge comes up to get the spot. And so this is really a good job staying at the goal line, as the receiver had an option when he recovered the kick back in the end zone. Even though he had touched the kick in the field of play, the kick provided the impetus for the ball being in the end zone. And if the player simply took a knee there in the end zone, it would have been a touchback. And it's good for us to review all the issues with the ball in relation to the goal line on kick plays. But this is really good work here. Play 4, we get a punt. And the punt is from just across midfield, so the side judge and field judge are properly at the goal line, and the back judge is in great position behind the receiver. And what we're going to see is receiver gives a fair catch signal, and then he's going to move in position to make the catch. And then kicker number 42 is going to come in and impede the receiver. He's actually going to make contact, and the back judge gets a flag down at the spot of the foul for kick catching interference. But the back judge continues to work the play. So this is really good work all the way around, a good call for kick catching interference, but to continue to officiate the play. Well done. Play 5 is a 2-play vignette, and we're going to focus on potential kick catching interference. Now, our first play, we get a punt, and number 29 of the receiving team is going to call for a fair catch, and then he's going to muff the kick and then recover it. But we get a flag from our back judge for kick catching interference. Now, the side judge is going to come in immediately to the back judge and share his information with him, and we're going to get a good announcement from our referee.
There's no foul on the play for kick catching interference. He was blocked into the receiver. 1st and 10.
And as we go back and take a look at the play from the end zone behind the kickers, we see number 28 is going to push number 4 of the kicking team right through the area defined by the width of the receiver's shoulders extending 1 yard in front, causing the receiver to muff the ball. And this is a good alert and good communications by the side judge and a good pickup of the flag. Now, our second play, we have another punt, and we see number 80 of the receiving team comes forward to catch the kick, and number 26 runs right through the front of the receiver. And the back judge makes a good call here for kick catching interference. Now, we see that the ball bounces back up the field. The kick catching interference was right about the 28-yard line, but the ball is going to bounce upfield and goes out of bounds about the 36-yard line. So it went forward about 8 yards, but the crew correctly enforces the penalty 15 yards from the spot of the foul, not from the end of the kick. So really well done by the crew here. Play 6 is a free kick from the 35-yard line, and we're going to see that the kick is high and short near the boundary, and number 28 of the receiving team calls for a fair catch and then makes the catch right near the boundary. Now, our headline judge comes up, and she's going to rule that the catch was inbounds, and with the fair catch signal, the ball will belong to the receiving team at the -25. And as we take a look from the high end zone, we're going to see that the receiver's feet are definitely in the field of play, and so really good call by our headline judge. But if that foot would have been out of bounds when that receiver touched the kick, then it would be a free kick out of bounds, and then the receivers would put the ball in play at the inbound spot at the 35-yard line. So a 10 yards different here, whether the foot was inbounds or out of bounds. Good job by our headline judge here. Play 7 is a discussion about enforcements on kicks and efficiency of handling those enforcements by the crew. Now, we're kicking off from the 50 after an enforcement of a 15-yard penalty against the receiving team. And we get a low pooch kick that lands about the 12 and then is going to bounce and go out of bounds at the 3-yard line. Now, we get a flag from our headline judge for a free kick out of bounds. And first thing is we need to verify that number 13 of the receiving team did not touch the ball. And we get a good view from the low end zone behind the kickers, and it's clear that number 13 did not touch the ball. So correct call for a free kick out of bounds. So as we know, there are 3 options with a free kick out of bounds. The first is a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot, back up the kickers and re-kick, or 5 yards from the spot where the subsequent dead ball belongs to Team B. That's the 3-yard line, so that's not going to be a good option. Or the receiving team may put the ball in play 30 yards beyond Team A's restraining line at the hash mark. But since we're kicking from the 50 here, that spot would be the 20-yard line. So the receiving team decides to back the kickers up 5 yards and re-kick. Now, this was good, quick work by the crew to get the discussion and the information to the coach. The coach wanted the ball at the 35-yard line, but a quick explanation helped them understand that they could take the ball 30 yards beyond Team A's restraining line, so that made them decide to re-kick. So good work by the crew, good understanding of the possibilities here, and efficiently handling that. Our last play this week, we've got a punt from the -25, and we're going to get an excellent kick by the punter. He's going to drive the receiver back inside his own 20, and during the return, we're going to get 2 flags down for a block in the back by number 27 of the receiving team blocking on number 4 of the kickers. Now, anytime we get a deep punt like this, we need to be alert for this chase mode. And we see here with 27, it should put us on high alert as he's chasing number 4. And we need eyes on this block, and we get it there. So really good job by our side judge and umpire. The thing I would challenge you is let's work on the spot of the foul. It looks like here this thing was initiated about the 26, but it's very difficult to get. So be alert. Make sure we talk that through. But really good work here to pick this up and have 2 flags on this clear block in the back. Well, that's it for our plays this week, and I appreciate your time focusing on these. And I encourage you as a crew, every week, have kick play discussion in your pregame. Things can happen on kick plays, and we need to keep these constantly in our focus. So I appreciate the good work here. Let's continue to work to get ready for our season.